shit to do with Puffy. So y'all can stop all that meetings. Stop all of that bullshit. I ain't been nowhere near no damn freak off. Listen, I do enough of my own shit. Don't be putting me in other people's bullshit. I ain't been nowhere near that man. I ain't did none of that stupid shit. So whenever y'all hear it, if somebody say that, it's a damn lie. I don't even like baby.
It's been a wild few months since Diddy was arrested and charged with serious federal crimes, including racketeering, conspiracy, and sex trafficking. But now, new details are coming to light that are shaking up Hollywood in ways we never expected. And this time, it's not just about Diddy, it's about who he allegedly shared his secrets with, who he named under oath, and what those names could mean for some of the biggest names in entertainment. One name that keeps popping up in conversations around Diddy's trial and legal drama is none other than Will Smith. That's right, the Fresh Prince himself. And no, this isn't just random internet chatter. This is coming from multiple sources, including former insiders, ex-assistants, bodyguards, and even people close to the music mogul himself. According to these reports, Diddy didn't just know Will Smith. He had a very complicated relationship with him, and if you thought Will and Jada's marriage had its own layers, wait until you hear what's being said about their connection to Diddy. Let's start at the beginning. For years, there have been whispers, rumors floating through barbershops, late-night talk shows, and underground forums that both Diddy and Will Smith were DL. If you're unfamiliar with the term, DL stands for down low, a slang phrase often used to describe men, especially black men, who engage in same-sex relationships or sexual activity while maintaining a heterosexual public image. These kinds of rumors aren't new, but what's different now is that they're gaining traction because of Diddy's current legal situation and the people who are finally speaking out. Now, before we dive too deep into this, let's be clear, none of these allegations have been proven in court. We're not saying any of this is fact. We're just telling you what's being reported, what's being claimed, and why people are paying attention. So where did this all start? Well, one of the first people to really bring Will Smith's name into the mix was someone named Bilal. He was once Will Smith's personal assistant, and has since gone on record talking about things he claims he witnessed firsthand. In one particularly explosive interview with Tasha K, Bilal dropped a bombshell. He said he walked in on Will Smith getting intimate with another man, and that man was none other than Dwayne Martin, better known as D-Mob, a well-connected figure in the entertainment world. According to Bilal, he went into Dwayne's dressing room to retrieve Will, and opened the door to find Dwayne standing behind Will, who was bent over on a couch. He described the scene in detail, calling it murder, a slang term that speaks volumes in certain circles. Bilal wasn't just making accusations, he was claiming he saw it happen with his own eyes, during a time when he was still working for Will. Of course, this didn't go unnoticed. Within hours of the interview going viral, Jada Pinkett Smith came out swinging. She threatened legal action against Bilal, accusing him of trying to extort her and damage her family's reputation. But here's the kicker, Bilal didn't back down. Instead, he doubled down. He told Tasha K that if Jada didn't sue him within 2 weeks, he would come back with more information, and this time he'd bring receipts. And guess what? Jada never sued him. That silence alone has led many people to believe that there's at least some truth to what Bilal was saying. Why else wouldn't she take legal action? And why would Will Smith, who's known for being charismatic and media savvy, not address it directly? But Bilal wasn't done. He also claimed that Will and Jada weren't just hiding parts of their private lives, they were allegedly involved in something even bigger, something tied to Diddy. Bilal said that Will and Jada had been throwing what he called freak-off parties with Diddy and others. Now, if you've been following the Diddy case closely, you'll know that freak-offs is a term that's been used throughout the investigation to describe wild, drug-fueled sex parties hosted by Diddy, often involving underage participants. Bilal didn't stop there. He also mentioned that Jada had allegedly hit people with dildos and engaged in other extreme behavior during these parties. Again, these are serious allegations, and none of them have been verified in court. But what makes them stand out is that they're not coming from just one source. Other insiders have hinted at similar stories, and some have even connected the dots between Diddy, Will, Jada, and even Jennifer Lopez. Yes, Jennifer Lopez. There's a story that surfaced recently involving Diddy's ex-bodyguard Gene Dill. He recalled a party hosted by Matt Damon for Ben Affleck, where Diddy, Will and Jada were all in attendance. During the event, Diddy allegedly approached Gene and told him that Will and Jada were trying to scoop up Jennifer Lopez, and according to Dill, Diddy wasn't happy about it. He reportedly said he was ready to snuff Will if he made a move on J.Lo while she was still with him. Now keep in mind that this was around the time when Diddy and J.Lo were still together, or at least still very much connected. So if Will was allegedly trying to get involved with her in a freak-off scenario, that would definitely explain why Diddy might have been upset. But what's even more interesting is that this story doesn't seem to be isolated. There are other reports suggesting that Will and Jada had a long history of participating in these kinds of events with Diddy. Then there's the matter of mentorship. You see, Diddy has long been known for taking young artists under his wing, especially young black men. But according to some of the people who've come forward, not all of those mentoring relationships were exactly professional. Some claim that Diddy used the guise of mentorship to groom and manipulate young boys into doing things they weren't comfortable with, and Will Smith, allegedly, was part of that circle. One of the most shocking examples involves a young actor named Bryce Gare. According to reports, Bryce was introduced to both Diddy and Will Smith by his manager, Charlie Mack, under the pretense of mentorship. But instead of helping Bryce build his acting career, the story goes that both men took advantage of him, emotionally, physically, and sexually. He was allegedly hooked on drugs, manipulated emotionally, and left traumatized after the experience. Another name that comes up in these circles is Meek Mill. Yes, the rapper. There are unverified claims that Meek was also involved in some of these situations, though nothing concrete has ever come from those allegations. And then there's Jaden Smith. Jaden, Will and Jada's son, has always been seen as the quiet, spiritual one in the family, but some people are starting to wonder if there's a deeper reason for his distance from his father. According to rumors that have circulated online for years, Jaden may have had a negative experience with his dad that caused him to pull away emotionally. One anonymous commenter online even wrote, "There are inappropriate videos of Will with his son online making Jaden uncomfortable and always forcing him to kiss him. Look it up. I believe Jaden has been assaulted by his dad." Again, these are serious allegations. No evidence has surfaced to support these claims, and Will Smith has never been formally accused of anything like this. But the pattern is hard to ignore. If Diddy was allegedly using mentorship as a cover for exploitation, and Will was allegedly involved in those same circles, could Jaden have been caught in the crossfire? What's also interesting is how Will and Jada responded, or rather didn't respond to these rumors. While Jada tried to shut Bow down with threats of legal action, neither she nor Will addressed the allegations head-on. And in today's social media-driven world, silence can speak louder than words. Jaguar's Wright, a longtime critic of the Hollywood elite, was one of the first people to publicly connect the dots between Diddy, Will and Jada. She claimed that Will's ex-PA Bow had given her insider information about the family, including disturbing details about Will's alleged behavior toward his own son. She also suggested that Jada knew about everything but stayed silent because of a promise she made to herself never to divorce. In fact, some people believe that Will and Jada have had an open marriage for years, allowing each other to pursue relationships outside of their union, including same-sex encounters. According to these theories, Jada supposedly allowed Will to continue his DL lifestyle, as long as she was free to explore her own sexuality, which included a rumored affair with August Alsina. But again, none of this has been confirmed by either Will or Jada themselves. So where does this leave us? We're in a moment where powerful figures are being held accountable for past actions. With Diddy's trial looming and more witnesses stepping forward, it's possible that more names will be dragged into the conversation. And if Diddy decides to testify, or if prosecutors begin offering plea deals in exchange for information, we could see even more connections being made between celebrities, mentors, and victims. For now, the rumors about Will Smith and his alleged ties to Diddy remain just that, rumors. But the sheer volume of them, combined with the silence from Will and Jada, is enough to make people ask questions. Is it possible that Will was simply friends with Diddy and got pulled into the mess unintentionally? Sure. Is it also possible that he was part of something darker? We don't have enough evidence to say for sure, but the stories keep coming, and as more people come forward, as more documents are released, and as more testimonies are heard in court, we may finally start to see the full picture emerge. Until then, all we can do is listen, watch, and decide for ourselves what to believe. Let me know in the comments below, do you think there's truth to these rumors, or is this all just smoke without fire? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next update, because trust me, you won't want to miss what comes next.